what's going on YouTube and everybody out there looking at sabers and all that fun stuff. My name's Chill Billy, and I'm here to give you the review that you've all been waiting for after seeing my announcement on Vire Sabers. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick backstory here. I found Vire Sabers through basically people talking on a Crimson Dawn thread. And I said, you know what? I got to check these guys out. Checked out their Facebook. Immediately impressed by everything. And so I touch base to Vire, and they were immediately responsive. So much to the point that I had to make a video the same day. And here we are 3 days later, and I have my saber. Now, I'm extremely excited. I did make a YouTube video about this saber. iPhone's acting up crazy, and for some reason I can't do the upload. And I did one with me standing up and showing all the stuff, but I'm going to do another one since it's taken so long. I'm going to sit down and do it in front of the webcam now and show you guys. So first off, what I have here in front of you is the Tempest. And long story short, Vire goes through LGT sabers, the same as Crimson Dawn, just about for their sabers, and the hilts are just about similar to the same. So this is the Tempest. It's a very minimalist type of hilt, mainly to the fact that all you get is tiny windows, and you can't really tell the emitter from the pommel. But that's what you get for basically the cheapest saber you can buy. Right, so I want to say this saber only cost me $80. I'm not endorsed or paid to give this review in any aspect whatsoever. I paid for this saber just like anybody else would. So I want to give a complete unbiased, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, to any buyer on the market for a saber. Now, I want to start with the awesome part of this saber. The first video that I made initially was going to be a tutorial video on how to use it and all that stuff. But and I'm pretty sure it's a sign from the Force to not upload the video that I made prior and to do a new one, because if you guys want to figure out how to use this thing, there's other YouTube videos to watch or buy one, and it's going to come with 3 awesome cards. I'm just setting my saber down here real quick. It's going to come with 3 awesome cards. One is a features card. The second one is a warranty information card. And the third one is a user guide. And that user guide is front and back. And it's going to show you everything you need to know about how to operate the saber. But what I am going to do is during the review, I'm going to show you things that I like and don't like, things that might be an issue, things that I think is just what you pay for. Okay, so first off, sorry, got the hiccups. I just had one of these bad boys. Kirkland brand, man, Vitarain. I'm not sponsored by them either, but it's delicious. Alright, so first thing that I want to go over with you guys is this. You get what you pay for. That's not always true, right? So there's a lot of times, me personally, I have spent a lot of money on sabers. And not always have I been happy with my purchase. Matter of fact, a lot of times I end up with what's called buyer's remorse after buying a saber. And the reason why is because I get so excited that I'm getting something new that when I get it, it's underwhelmed. So when I saw this saber, actually, Vire told me, hey, get this saber. It's the best bang for your buck. God, again, I can't talk straight. It's the best bang for your buck, so I went with it. And again, it's a very minimalist style. The blade length, I think, is 32 inches, I believe, because I have a ton of lightsabers here, and I think this one is a 36-inch from Ultra Sabers. This is 32-inch from them. So, Vire, if you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's a 32-inch blade. Basically, you have a one button. You have a charge port. The pommel unscrews. to give you your components, and here's your speaker. This right here, it looks like it's probably glued in, I'm not sure, but this is your soundboard and all that stuff, and your emitter, your pummel. Now I just want to go through one thing real quick. This is the one thing that stuck out to me when I got the Saber, because as I'm cutting it. Well, first off, I charged it for about 4 hours prior to making my first video in now. But the first thing that stood out to me was the bottom here, where the little holes are for your speaker. It's very loose, so when you swing it, matter of fact, it is louder than the sound fonts. That to me was annoying, but I can look past it for the amount of money that I spent. So I'm going to screw that on, and I'm sure they're all like that. Again, this is not a bash on Vire whatsoever. They didn't make the Saber. It's an LGT product, and I believe that it may just be a part of the Saber. Okay, but nothing you can't look past for 80 bucks, because I'm going to show you why the Saber is so awesome. Now, if you're a Saber enthusiast, right, and you are deep in the line of buying Sabers, like you've got a ton of them and you're looking for the coolest Saber in the world, this isn't it, okay? But what this is good for is somebody starting out in the Saber community. You just want your first lightsaber. You want to dabble in on what the excitement is of owning your first Saber. This is the perfect, in my opinion, Saber that you can start out with. The reason why is it has 6 sound fonts, clash, lock up. It has 3 blade modes, which is going to be your unstable, stable, pulse. And it goes through a full array of RGB coloring. And I'm going to go through a lot of that in a second. One thing immediately that I love than some of my more higher dollar Sabers, and this right here is just like a mid-grade Saber from Ultra Sabers, it's an Aeon, is the weight. Now, what I mean by that is, in terms of weight, sorry, I'm putting that back. In terms of weight, this is extremely light. Whereas that Saber weighs about 2 pounds, this Saber weighs pretty much like a toothpick. It's very light, but it's not built badly. And what I mean that is, it's still structurally sound. Because what I've noticed from this is, since it has a chassis, everything is just nice. It's in there. It's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's very... The only thing wobbling is the bottom speaker little cap here. But on some of my other Sabers, like the battery ports inside of them are kind of wobbly, and even though they're built well, and they cost a substantially amount more money for the price of this thing is solid, and it's just lighter, which I like, because the ratio between the balance between the blade and the hilt is pretty even. So if you're somebody that likes to show off with a Saber, twirl it, or whatever the case may be, it's a lot easier than having a brick in your hand. The feel of the hilt is very smooth. It's very nice. I have a Saber back there, and right here actually on the wall, where on the hilt, it's literally so sharp that it will cut your hand, and I've cut my hand with it before. But you're not going to have this issue. And again, beginner Saber for a beginner's market. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some things with you. I'm not going to give you a tutorial on how to start it, but I'm going to let you see some colors and hear it. So first off, it's off, which is held down for 10 seconds. I'm going to cut it on for 3 seconds. I got the sound cut off, so I'm going to cut the sound on. 1. Loud sound. And it's on loud sound now. Now it's got 3 sound modes: loud, soft, and off. I'm going to keep the sound on just to show you some of the stuff with sound. Then I'm going to cut the sound off so you can see it, hear me and see everything at the same time. So first off, let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up. So, very, very bright. Very bright. Let me change the color real quick. Go ahead and cycle colors. Go and cycle. I'm gonna lock it in there. So we're at a green blade right now, and all right, cool. So you got an idea of the sound. You've got an idea of the clash. You've got an idea of the blaster on the blade. You've got an idea of a lockup. Um, Man, I've got to say, I'm extremely impressed with the lighting. Just for comparison, I'll pull up one of my more expensive sabers that is just a stunt saber, no sound, and just show you a comparison in lighting. But this thing is bright. I mean, this thing is just as bright, in my opinion, for a base lit as a NeoPixel blade. And what really blows my mind about this is it doesn't have a ton of that base lit glow. The distribution of the light is very nice and even, and I think it's with a polycarbonated, did I say that right, blade, basically the same as like riot shields and stuff is what it's made out of. But it definitely, it has that white film in it that helps light travel and traverse more and expand out more, and it's just great. Now what I love is their blades actually come with a pointed tip, whereas and we're going to just use this bad boy as an example, like this right here, which cost me about $180, is just a curved tip. Now where that comes into kind of a issue is sometimes on camera it does not light up the tip as well. Well, on this camera it does. And then, you know, these are just kind of like, you know, here I am stuck in between two places. So, anyways, they did a really good job. They did a really good job with this. LGT did. But I tell you what, man. I mean, honestly, if saber companies didn't stand by their product, they wouldn't be in business, right? So that's why great companies like Vire is selling their products. All right, so let's go through cycling. Hold on, I just love it. Let's go through cycling of the colors so you get an idea of the color spectrum. So we go one.
Pulse.
All right, so anyways, before we do that, this is a pulse blade. So it actually pulses the entire blade like a NeoPixel almost. I mean, I'm just shook on how well this thing lights the whole blade. And I'm going to just go ahead and change the color real quick to a dark blue. There we go, because I'm going to compare here in a second. Go ahead and cut it off. All right, and then we're going to change the sound font.
Unstable.
I mean, again, you know what I'm saying, the blade. And this is like a Kylo Ren unstable. And it's crazy because on video you can't see it as well as you can like in person, which is weird because usually it's the other way around. But man, it looks great in person. I know in video it just doesn't. But I want to give you an idea here. $180, $80. I mean, honestly, come on. Come on. It's the exact same color.
Surface sound. No sound.
I want to cut the sound off. But, I mean, that's insane. I paid little of nothing for this, you know? So, anyways, I just wanted to give that comparison. Same color here. So, get in that holder. Oh, whatever. I'll put you back up later. All right, so let's go through a couple other things. It's a great blade. Okay, so I've told you guys what I like. I think the big jump for this is the blade is very, very, very bright. The color spectrum is very vast. The distribution of light in the blade is perfect for a hilt lit, a base lit. Um, it does come with a ton of features, especially for the price point. Again, you end up with 6 sound fonts. You're going to have Kylo Ren's. You're going to have Cal Kestis. You're going to have Darth Vader. You're going to have Luke Skywalker, Ben Solo, and the sixth one was Mace Windu. You're going to have all their sound fonts. Now, the problem that I did see with this is certain sound fonts did not have the swing motion font. Now, I'm not expecting smooth swing whatsoever, but I do notice that the swing sound is not there for some of the fonts. And I'm sure that that just has something to do with the fonts or the coding for the fonts. Some of them have it. None of them are very responsive with the swing. As far as, if I swing, does it sound like it's swinging? A lot of times it feels like milliseconds off, but way more than enough that your brain catches, like, hey, I've already swung and now it's making the noise. But that's to be expected, I guess. With an $80 blade, you're not spending hundreds of dollars on this thing. Negatives. Now, again, I told you this is an unbiased review, so I'm not going to just sit here and praise everything, because trust me, there are negatives to it as well. I don't know if it's just my saber or if all the Tempests have this issue, but I don't like the sound quality of the speaker. Sounds like it's blown. But I'm not a speaker expert, so I can't say it's a blown speaker. What I can say is that it is not clear the way I would expect it to sound. Because I've watched videos of Vire Sabers on YouTube previous to getting this, and they sound a whole lot more clear than what this does. And I'm going to give an example. I'm going to change
Loud sound.
back to loud sound.
That lightsaber was Luke's.
To me, it sounds very muffled. And here we go. No swing motion, no swing. So it's a bit off. I mean, I don't expect it to be smooth swing quality with that, but it's not even close to like EFX quality in my opinion. But I'm not tripping. It was $80. So there's so many more pros that overweigh the little cons that I have. But the sound is what really, I kind of have it up, and I'm like, it's a lot of popping. It's a lot of poppy. And even at first I'm like, well, maybe it's the thing on the pummel that's doing it. While I hold it down, it's still a very underwhelming sound. And to be honest, I don't know. I could have gotten one with a blown speaker. I'm not sure. But what I will say is this: I don't know if they do this or not through Vire. But if you're skilled in Vire, if you're watching this, if you're skilled in soldering, it would be my personal opinion that you guys order like some of those upgraded speakers for like $5. I think they're like $5 or so, and I'm sure you guys can get them cheaper than that, being that you have a distributor or whatever. But I would give an option for maybe $10-15 more to have an upgraded speaker. If it is just a known issue with the speakers. Now, this is my first one, so I don't know. I don't have another one to really compare it to. I'm not going to plan on buying another one of the same type. But eventually what I think I'm going to do is just buy another Saber through them with the same soundboard and compare it. Because more than likely, if it has the same soundboard, it's going to have the same speaker. Around the same price point that I would imagine. But that's my biggest complaint about this Saber, is I feel like either, because I'm not deaf, so either either the speaker's blown or it just has a crappy quality speaker in it. Only complaint. So if you take that complaint, which is only one, and you, or I'm sorry, two, because you have the shaky thing. If you take those two complaints but compare it against the pros, this is a no-brainer. If you are a first-time Saber buyer, or even if you're a first-time, or you want to get something with sound, you want to get something with that bright blade without spending NeoPixel money, this is definitely a great Saber to come across. Pick it up. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I got it too, the blade had a scuff. I have not hit anything with this or anything. I just took it out of the package, plugged it up, but the Saber actually has like a black scuff on it that I can't get off. Oh no, right there. And then it had some on the tip. I'm not going to ding or sit on my channel and ding anybody for QC control, because honestly that's easily overlooked by anybody. And to be quite fair, the blades are so cheap on Vire's website that it's not even an issue. It's really a non-issue. I just wanted to bring that up again because it's an unbiased review and I'm looking at every little thing there is to look at about the Saber to say this is the good, because nothing's 100% good, right? I mean, if I sat here and said this Saber is perfect in every which way possible, then everybody would be like, that guy's getting paid, and I'm not. I'm not getting paid to do this at all. All I want to do is give a complete unbiased review on something. But at the end of the day, I mean, this Saber is it's amazing. I told myself I would never cuss on my channel, and I wanted to say it's, you know what, amazing, but it is truly amazing for the price point to get something like this. Now, let's compare apples to apples, okay, while I'm on this. So two of my favorite companies now that dealing with, and I haven't even gotten started with purchasing a lot of Sabers from these guys yet, have been Crimson Dawn, which I've got a Saber on the way, NeoPixel Profi, and Vire Sabers, okay? And I'll tell you why. Vire's, hands down, super responsive, the quickest response time I've had to a Saber company, even quicker than Crimson Dawn. They actually got into a more cordial conversation with me on Facebook, whereas none of those other companies have. But Crimson Dawn's right there with them when it comes to customer service, in my opinion. So, you know, but I'm going to give you the complete here. I ordered this 3 days ago and got it today. I ordered my Crimson Dawn last month. I'm getting it Friday. So a month later. Problem is, it's not their fault. It's the problem. The problem truly is LGT is not sending the parts. Or they'll say they're sending 200 and send them 10 of NeoPixel blades or whatever the case may be, and they're on back order. But I will tell you that price-wise, even though both of them use the same distributor, price-wise, they're about the same. The reason why I say that is this. LGT is cheaper on their website. I mean, I'm sorry, Vire Sabers is cheaper on their website. Crimson Dawn is about $10 more if you compare the blades to, respectfully, right? If you compare a baselit to a baselit or blah, blah, blah. You're looking at about a $10 difference. But what I noticed is you pay for shipping with Vire, whereas Crimson Dawn's a free shipping if you're in the lower 48 states. So they both come out to approximately, now I'm not going to sit and penny pinch, but approximately the same price for Sabers. The upper hand that Vire has on Crimson Dawn is they give you the opportunity to build a Saber on their website using components, everything from the pommel to the emitter and the blade. There is not that option for Crimson Dawn. However, Crimson Dawn does have NeoPixel Profi options that I did not personally see on Vire's website. Now, that is an opportunity for Vire to get into that market, and I'm sure they would absolutely destroy that market when they do decide to get in it. And I'm excited to see if they're planning on getting in that market. But you, at the end of the day, both offer something that any saber enthusiast can benefit from. Whether you want a way cheaper than where you would ever pay with great customer service NeoPixel Profi, or you would like to build a saber way cheaper than you would do anywhere else, custom. So that's really what the biggest difference is, in my personal opinion. Both are small, family-ran companies. But I gotta say, man, I was actually more impressed with Vire's response and response time than I was with Crimson Dawn, and both of them were great. So if you're looking for one other than the other, it doesn't matter. Both of them are great, but I'm just giving you my honest feedback. So one last thing that I'm going to leave you with before I jump is, if I were Vire, with these sabers here, that's like more your starter sabers, this is just opinion, I would totally, hands down, swap these speakers if you have the means to. If you don't have the means, then that's fine. And again, and I'm stuck on the speakers, I know I am, but this is just one of those things that's just like irritating. Only because two things, in my opinion, make such a great saber is a great sound, not so much sound fonts, but a great sound, what's coming out of the speaker and the blade. And I'm pretty sure it's just the speaker, but I gotta tell you guys, y'all kill it with your customer service, and this is a no-brainer buy for your first saber. So check them out. Their link is in my description below. Make sure you hit the notification bell for my next video. Make sure you like it. Dislike it if you don't like it, I don't care. Make sure you subscribe to me if you like what you see. And stay in touch, because Friday, probably Friday night or Saturday morning, I'm going to have a great treat for you guys with the Crimson Dawn NeoPixel Profi mystery box that I'm actually going to unbox. I'm actually going to unbox that on camera, because I don't even know what it is. So I want to be surprised. Y'all have a great night. Thank you. And thank you, Vire Sabers, for your great customer service and support in the community. Thank you guys also. Have a good day.